أما الآن نبدأ توقيع اتفاقيات التعاون بين مركز
Let's start signing memoranda of understanding between the Doha International Center for Interfaith Dialogue. One of the things that the DICID has been keen to is to sign memoranda of understanding with other cultural institutions and centers within Qatar and abroad. And this is an opportunity for dialogue, partnerships, and dialogue on humanitarian issues. So please allow me on behalf of Dr. Hissa Al-Manna'i to start the signing ceremony, and I would like to invite from the first Dr. Abdul Jabbar Ahmed Al-Kubaisi is the Secretary General of the Islamic Association and Director of Warsaw Institute.
الآن
Now I would like to invite Dr. Abdul Hamid Hamdi, CEO of the Hamad bin Khalifa Cultural Center at Copenhagen, Denmark.
الآن أشكر الأستاذ الدكتورة عائشة المناعي.
I would like to thank Dr. Aisha Al-Manna'i, Deputy President of the Doha International Center for Interfaith Dialogue. I would like to invite Dr. Ibrahim Al-Naimi, President of the Doha International Center for Interfaith Dialogue, to sign other agreements with Sansan Bayev, the President of the Bayev Center from Kazakhstan.
الاتفاقية التالية
The next agreement, Mr. Damsek, director of the office of the Minister of Religion and Faith in the Republic of Mali.
الاتفاقية الأخيرة
And the last agreement is between Brigham Young University and the center. I would like to invite Mr. Jeffrey Ranger. And now some recognition for some international institutes and centers to be received by His Excellency Dr. Ibrahim Al-Naimi. The first shield from Hamad bin Khalifa Cultural Center to be presented by Sheikh Abdul Hamid Hamdi, President of the Center.
الدرع الثاني من الرابطة الإسلامية في
And the Islamic Association from Poland by Dr. Al-Kubaisi, Secretary General of the association. May peace be upon you all. Of course, thanks and gratitude to Dr. Ibrahim for all their efforts. We have selected this picture from the Polish stones, and there is a bridge that is handmade, and this represents bridging and communication across cultures, and this is what we hope. And we hope that we will communicate in Poland. There is communication and there is dialogue. Thank you. And this shield, please.
الدرع الثالث
The third shield from the Egyptian Ifta House by Mr. Khalid Amran is the director of the Media Center.
دكتور خالد. الدرع الرابع مقدم من رئيس جمهورية باكستان يقدمه مولانا سيد محمد عبد.
And from Pakistan, Maulana Abdul Azad, Imam and Imam of Badshah Mosque in Lahore.
والآن يتفضل الأستاذ.
And now I would like to invite Dr. Ibrahim bin Saleh Al-Naimi, President of the Doha International Center for Interfaith Dialogue and the Under-Secretary of Education, to read the final declaration of the conference. Praise be to Allah, and prayers may be upon His Prophet Muhammad and his companion household members. Before I talk about the closing declaration, I would like to thank everyone for such level of interaction from the beginning of this conference until this moment. Such an attendance, such a presence and participation. Our brothers from all around the world is very satisfying, rather say, and this gives us an understanding that there is a cause. There is a cause that to be discussed and shared, and they have the hope and the ability and the ambition to implement this in their countries and all around the world. Let's put our hands together to overcome and to counter such an attack on faiths and the hate speech which is regrettably exists in our life, and the incidents that have been increasing. Today in the morning, a massacre was perpetrated in Texas in one of the schools. More than 20 children were victims of such incidents, and the perpetrators and a 14 or 18-year-old child also, and it has been repeated in another city in the United States of America. The hate speech instigates such events. Going back to the closing declaration, which was held in 25th of May 2022, in the name of Allah, I shall start that under the auspices of Sheikh Khalid bin Khalifa Al Thani, the Prime Minister and Minister of Interior, the conference, the 14th Doha Conference on Interfaith Dialogue was held under the title Religions and Hate Speech Between Practice and Text, with the participation of scholars of the three faiths, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. More than 200 figures from a large number of countries as unprecedented, in addition to participants from the state of Qatar. The conference was inaugurated by Mr. Sultan bin Saad Al Mrehi, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, who apologizes for not being with us this. However, he conveys all his love and gratitude and thanks for participating with us, stressing that combating hate speech is a serious cause in which we need to bring together all our efforts, hoping that through this serious and profound studies and considerations between the scholars and faith leaders so that the conference can come out with practical and reasonable recommendations through which we can combat hate speech and to meet the objective by the gathering or bringing together people of faith so that love and peace may prevail across all peoples. And over the 2 days of the conference, after the opening session, three breakout sessions and nine marginal sessions and a closing ceremony which we have enjoyed, through which research papers were presented. And in light of the content of such papers and the dialogues, interactions, and discussions through the various sessions, the conference has concluded a number of recommendations with the following closing declaration. Before reading the recommendations, I would like to thank all the moderators and the rapporteurs of the various sessions for gathering all these points. First, we need to confirm that all religious faiths in its original text call for love and peace and denounce all sorts of hate speech, extremism, and discrimination on the basis of religion, ethnicity, or race. Second, I think I need some water to drink. Second, a moment, please.
ثانيا التأكيد على
Second, stressing that combating extreme and ideologies is a human effort, and we need to all concerted effort to combat such hate speech at the institutional, individual institutional, and religious leaderships and political leaderships in order to establish loving and peaceful for a civilized and peaceful world. 3, to denounce all sorts of hate speech and in all its forms, and to alienate ourselves from all hate groups, those affiliate themselves with religion. 4, to undertake all legislative instruments and to develop a media and ethical strategy to exploit and utilize social media platforms and to control such platforms. 5th is to suggest a proposition to international organizations calling for developing educational curricula to instill proper religious values that calls for coexistence with the others and to eliminate all elements of hate speech. And all religious leaderships in such countries, they need to take up their responsibility to develop what religions call for peace and love and renunciation of extremism. 6, warn against some forms of double standard discourse. Double standard discourse between people interested in interfaith dialogue, so that we shouldn't have hypocrisy where they have double discourse, where they have their own discourse within their own circles and addressing the others with other discourse, and this can be a reason for the most dangerous form of hate. Fifth, Islamophobe is not the approach of majority in the West, but rather the approach of a minority in the West who are ignorant about the values of Islam. 8, stress the importance of shifting and transitioning from the phase of dialogue to actual effective partnership between the civil society organizations and religious organizations to have a single stand against all practices of discrimination and hate practices. 9th, and finally, to send a message, a unified message rather say, for the key actors in the international community in order to concert all efforts to support all oppressed peoples that are victimized of hate speech and oppression, such as what's happening in Kashmir and Rohingya community and the Uyghur in China, and to support them.
دون طرف ايا كان دينه او جنسه. هذه الرسائل او
These are the messages or the recommendations or the key thoughts and themes that have been put together by the rapporteurs and the moderators. And now allow me to thank everyone for all your participations, hoping that we have concluded a meaningful conference that adds to combating hate. And please allow me to thank the unknown soldiers, or anonymous soldiers who have exerted great efforts, particularly Mr. Mubarak Ajlan Al-Kuwari, head of the organizing committee. So please, I would like to invite him. And Miss Hind Ad-Darbasti, from a committee member. We have the head of the standing committee for conference organization, and all members of the work team from the committee would like to thank you all for your kind efforts. And our MC, Mr. Muhammad Al-Ansari, quite shining. And I would like to invite my members of the Doha International Center, Ms. Aisha Al-Manna'i. Please, I would like to invite you, Dr. Ahmed Abdul Rahim. These are anonymous soldiers. Ms. Nadia Al-Ashqar. Mr. Ahmed Farghali. Dr. Sheikho Turi. Dr. Amin Al-Zarraf. Ms. Nahla Fahmi. And Mr. Sinad Mirahovic. I would like to invite everyone now. Nahla, please.
الآن
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take a group picture. Hopefully, we'll meet you in the future. Thank you.
يلا one more